Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Land News Brief. Today is Wednesday, February 22nd. Today, we want to review mortgage rate again. And the first news is Hyundai Auto purchased 8-story building in Manhattan. It's near Holland Tunnel, they said. And we're going to take a look at SK On. It's SK the battery company, will establish ITcenter in Georgia. So we have more local news. And the next news is mortgage rates rose again after 5 weeks continuous decline. We thought, okay, we are doing okay. But again, the mortgage rate rose. The next news is home sales fall 12 months in row as mortgage sting. Again, kind of expected. And Zillow signals more pain ahead. That means future of Zillow is not so good. And News Corp, the Costa failed to reach a deal. The News Corp is a mother company of Wall Street Journal and also Realtor.com. They tried to sell that division, the Realtor.com, to Costa, but they couldn't make the deal, so failed. That's very interesting news, so we're going to take a look at. And the local banks move on to home mortgage business. Well, while the big guys kind of are leaving the mortgage business, home mortgage business, but local banks maybe move in. Okay. The rate first, as we already checked the news lines, this week, all interests went up. 30-year 6.625 and 15-year 5.625 FHA, and 10-year Treasury yield, of course, moving up, and 5-year and 7-arm. So it's all red again. We thought the mortgage rates were coming down and stabilize, hopefully at the high 5. Okay, but we couldn't go down below 6 point, and then now again it's going up. 지금 우리가 이자율이 조금 낮아지는 듯해서 조금 봄 기운이 나면서 부동산 시장이 풀리나 했는데 지금 다시 이번 주에 이자율이 다시 올라가기 시작해가지고 그 희망을 지금 좀 깨고 있는 상태인데요. Okay, let's take a look at the first news. Is Hyundai Auto purchased 8-story building in Manhattan. They paid about $275 million. And they will be used for Hyundai Auto and Hyundai Capital and other investment and management companies within the organization, Hyundai. And the building is, the size of building is 10,033 square meters, which means 107,955 square feet. And each floor has a terrace and is near Tribeca, near Holland Tunnel. And we don't have the exact address, but I think we can identify if we look at this photos. This is the new Hyundai building, 8-story. Okay. And according to Newmark, the commercial brokerage company, vacancy rate in Manhattan is still about 20%, but newly developed or renovated luxury office buildings are attracted to purchase, like Hyundai. 현대 오토에서 맨하탄의 지금 트라이베카에 $275 million 페이하고 2억 불이 되나요? 2억 7,500만 불을 주고 8층짜리 빌딩을 사서 거기 현대 오토 자동차, 현대 뭐 캐피털 이런 인베스트먼트 매니지먼트 컴퍼니들이 현대 계열이 들어가서 쓸 것이다. 토탈 사이즈가 10만 한 8천 스퀘어피트 된다. 지금 커머셜 브로커리지 쪽에서 얘기하는 것은 맨하탄에 아직도 한 공실률은 20% 정도 되는데 newly developed 된 거나 renovate 된 거, 럭셔리한 빌딩, 오피스 빌딩들은 이렇게 지금 판매가 되고 있다. 그런 뉴스라는 거고요. Okay, next news is another local news. SK On will establish ITcen터 in Georgia. This government announcement, Georgia government, state government announced that SK On will establish the IT center by spending $19 million in Atlanta area in Georgia. Specifically, the town name is Roswell. Okay, it's kind of nearby from the Korean towns, so-called. Duluth is the so-called Korean town in Georgia. Let's take a look at the map. Yeah, okay. Okay, this is the map. There's Atlanta here, and where is the Savannah? Savannah is who? Okay, Savannah is here. Okay, and Augusta, the famous golf course. So Augusta is in between, sort of, and Savannah is here. So it's about 4 to 5 hours driving distance. And okay, a little bit north of Atlanta, there's a Roswell here. And the area that the K-Town, the nickname K-Town is Duluth here. Okay, this Duluth area. And this is town, the SK On will establish IT centers. So this IT center will support all SK battery factories and etc. Okay. And if we're coming down from the New York area, mostly likely they will use from 95, they use 85. Okay, and then getting into the Korean town, Swanee, also there is RC Plaza, the Duluth, there is H Mart. Okay, and there's a Norcross, and this is the Roswell area that the SK On will establish IT centers here. Okay, let's move on. Battery factory in Commerce in Jackson County, Georgia, by investing $2.6 billion since 2019. And they're talking about second factory, and I'm not sure about third factory. I think they're going to move somewhere else, but we'll report again if it's clear, which produces automobile batteries. Okay. 지금 그 SK On 배터리 회사라고 보면 되겠죠. SK에서 그 지금 지도에서 본 그 로즈웰 쪽에 IT 센터를 지어서 그 지금 투자한 거는 19 밀리언 지어서 그 이제 그 컴퍼니들을 계열사들을 이제 IT 서포트를 하겠다. 지금 그런 얘기인데 아마 그 인원은 한 200명 정도, 한 200~300명 정도 하이어한 걸로 그렇게 지금 돼 있고요. 그리고 SK는 지금 계속 그 커머스라는 타운, 커머스라는 타운에 잭슨 카운티죠. 거기는 조지아. 아까 얘기한 돌루스의 약간 위쪽으로 그 동북쪽으로 커머스라는 타운이 있는데 뭐 둘루스하고 이렇게 멀지 않아서 한 1시간 정도 거리면은 충분히 가는 그런 지역이다. 오케이. The next news is mortgage rate rose again after 5 weeks decline. Too bad, but it's a reality. MBA reports 30-year mortgage rate rose to 6.39%. Okay. Last week, after 5 consecutive weeks decline, which could be caused by Fed's signal that they could perform further contraction on money policy. So Fed saying, well, we cannot take it easy. Okay, we have to really keep pressure to the money market, money policy a little bit longer. So that's why interest rate going up a little bit. And according to MBA, because of that, last week's mortgage application declined 7.7% from the week before. And some experts say, I think we hear many times, some experts say this could result in housing market down. And well, some people say, want to say recession, but it's hardly it's going to happen. And the lowering house price this year. And MBA director Jeff Taylor said house sales is lowest in 40 years and house price could decline 4 to 6% this year and 7 to 9% in some area. We're going to see some interesting graph later on. Geologically, it's different. Okay. 지금 실망스럽게도 5주 동안 계속 이자율이 좀 떨어졌었죠. 그래서 봄 기운이 나나 이제 마켓이 이제 풀리나 하는 기대가 있었는데 이 전번 주에 다시 올라가기 시작해서 지금 MBA가 얘기한 것은 6.39%다. 30년 고정. 그래서 그거로 인해서 모기지 애플리케이션이 지금 전주에 그 전주보다 7.7%가 떨어졌대요. 그래서 어떤 사람들이 이제 이렇게 가면 하우징 리세션이 온다. 하우징 마켓에. 그리고 가격도 집값도 떨어질 것 같다라고 얘기를 한다는 얘기고요. MBA 디렉터 제프 테일러가 얘기를 했는데 지금 현재 건수가 트랜잭션이 40년 이내에 가장 낮은 단계고 그래서 본인이 볼 때는 올해 한 4 내지 6% 집값이 떨어질 거고 some area는 7 내지 9% 떨어질 것 같다라고 얘기를 했다는 거죠. Believe it or not. Okay. And so it's a similar story news. The home sales fall 12 months in row as mortgages sting. Okay, home sales means number of transactions. The U.S. housing market weakened in January for the 12th straight month as continued high mortgage rates kept buyers on the sideline. So sales of previous owned homes, which make up most of the housing market, fell 0.7% in January from the prior month. So January 0.7% dropped from December. And totally seasonally adjusted annual rate of 4 million houses. It's kind of low. At the peak time, like the middle of last year, we reached to 6 million, over 6 million houses. The slowest since October 2010, NAR said. January sales fell 36.9% from a year ago. So compared to last year, January, fell 36.9%, which marked the longest streak of back-to-back monthly decline since 1999. Okay, so number of transactions is not so good, but now what about the house price? House price rose 1.3% in January from a year earlier to $359,000. And prices fell month over month for the 7th straight month after reaching a record high of $413,800 in June. 지금 하우징 마켓이 계속해서 건수는, 트랜잭션은 12개월 계속 떨어지고 있다. 오케이. 왜냐하면 모기지가 또 올라가 버리니까 자꾸 바이어들이 지금 밀려난다. 그래서 지금 현재는 annual seasonally adjusted annual rate이 한 4밀리언 집이 팔리는 정도. 우리가 피크 때는 한 6밀리언이 넘었죠. 지금 그런 상태고, January 같은 경우에는 1년 전 대비 36.9%가 떨어졌다. Number of transaction이. 그리고 지금 계속해서 줄어드는 것이 longest streak of back-to-back monthly decline, 12month니까 longest하게 지금 계속 트랜잭션이 떨어지고 있다. 즉 값은 그럼 어떠냐? January에 1년 전 대비 1.3% 올라갔다. 그래서 미디언 프라이스가 지금 35만 9천인데 제일 the highest 때가 우리가 41만 3,800불이었다. 작년 June에. 그런 통계가 되어 있는데 그래프 한번 보시면 재밌는 걸 보실 수 있을 거예요. Okay, let's take a look at this graph. Again, the genius guys, genius from Wall Street Journal, they depicted this graph. The U.S. home sales by region. Now, let's take a look at Northeast. We are in Northeast, right? It's a 36% down from year earlier. Okay, so we're looking at now like February. Last year February, from the last year February, the transaction is 36% down. So January, about 500,000, 50,000 homes sold. Now, how about the West area, like California, maybe, yeah, that area? It's a 42% dropped. And the Midwest is less, 33% dropped. If you look at this is very interesting. It's a South area, okay, including all Sun Belt area, I believe Georgia, Texas, Alabama, and etc. It's 37% down, but still the number of sales is 1.8 million. So compared to other regions in the United States right now, it's almost a double. It's a very interesting phenomenon. Okay, so can we say Georgia or Alabama or Texas is a recession, the housing recession? I don't think so. That's very interesting statistics. 지역별로 좀 나눠서 보면 지금 existing home sales, 그러니까 이건 transaction이에요. 다른 전체적으로 이걸 합치면 50만, 72만, 96만, 1.8 밀리언을 다 합치면 about 4 밀리언이 되는 거예요. 우리가 아까 얘기했지만은. 그런데 지역별로 보면은 굉장히 인트레스트하다. 대부분이 다 떨어지긴 했는데, 그렇죠? 워낙에 트랜잭션이 많은 것은 지금 어디다? 사우스에. 트랜잭션이 워낙 많아요. 1.8 밀리언이에요. 다른 지역에 대비. 그러니까 거래가 사우스 지역은 여전히 왕성하게 일어난다. 물론 드랍은 있어요. 오케이. 드랍은 있지만 거의 지금 12개월 동안 계속 떨어졌다는 얘기죠. 그죠? 건수가. 그러나 여기 한번 보세요. January는 아직 컨펌된 건 아니지만 조금 올라갔어요. 이걸 자세히 보시면 January 조금 올라갔어요. Very interesting. Okay, so again, I just want to see the South area, Sun Belt area, is still compared to other regions in the United States. The overall, the number of transactions is about double. That's what I can see from this graph. Okay, let's take a look at the next news. Zillow signals more pain ahead. But as you know, Zillow is kind of going down, I would say. Well, overall, U.S. home purchase fell more than 40% in the fourth quarter from a year earlier, Redfin reported this week. But Zillow also 5% down year over in fourth quarter. And the trouble is agent ad. You remember, if you open up Zillow, there is three agent. Okay, that's agent ad. Actually, they're paying money. It's not a listing agent. A lot of people get confused. Okay. And so if you call that agent, they have no knowledge about the whatever the house on the screen. So that's just the ad, okay? But that also the revenue is dropped to by 28%. So they are in trouble. Redfin on Thursday said it expects first quarter revenue to fall as much as 49%. And Open Door is an iBuying company, bought around 5,000 homes in a single month last month, but they're buying now only 1,000 homes by December. So that much going down. And such a sharp fiscal buying, okay, the drop in fiscal buying, number of transactions is dropping, to call into question that iBuying model's visibility, particularly as Zillow and Redfin left the arena. But I didn't know Redfin left also iBuying business. And Zillow, we know that they shut down the division. That's because of that, Zillow stock went down quite a bit. So iBuying, one time we thought, wow, iBuying, oh. But now iBuying is kind of disappearing slowly. Okay. 그 진로 같은 케이스에 지금 iBuying 디비전을 셧다운 해버렸고요. 그거로 인해서 데미지가 많이 나서 스탁도 많이 떨어졌는데 그렇다면은 진로가 그래도 조금 돈을 벌고 있는 거는 에이전 애드였는데 에이전 애드가 지금 28%가 지금 떨어졌대요. 그 레버뉴 불러드리는 게 레드핀도 마찬가지, 오픈도어도 마찬가지. 오픈도어도 iBuying으로 작년 여름 같은 경우 5,000대를 사들였는데 디셈버에는 그 1,000개밖에는 사들이지를 못했다. 그래서 전체적인 지금 분위기가 iBuying 쪽에 질로도 떠났고 레드핀도 떠나서 지금 그런 그 iBuying 전체가 퀘스천이 지금 일고 있다. 그런 뉴스고요. 오케이. Next news is, this is kind of interesting news. Some people who are involved with the commercial transaction, they know Costa. The Costa is unique and only one database for the commercial, we can say MLS, okay? They don't call it MLS, but it's Costa. It's a company name, and they are dominant. They are only one company who deals with commercial listings and the detailed property information of all the U.S. commercial roof. Okay, and then News Corp, the company, mother company News Corp, owns Realtor.com and also one of my favorite journal, Wall Street Journal. Okay, so this News Corp tried to sell Realtor.com division to Costa Group, and then they were talking, and the deal was $3 billion. But somehow they didn't disclose the reason. The deal failed. And the News Corp is somewhat in trouble. It's a mother company of Wall Street Journal. And they hoped they can get the $30 billion cash by selling this Realtor.com to Costa, but Costa couldn't buy or didn't buy, I don't know exactly. And so News Corp in trouble somewhat. News Corp said this month that it expects to reduce headcount by 5% this year. And for Costa, the information provider for all the commercial real estate industry, the deal would have put it into head-to-head competition with the Zillow Group. Now, if Costa purchased Realtor.com, then probably they can crash down the Zillow group completely. Realtor.com is not bad. If you type the Realtor.com and then you can put the address, just like a Zillow, pretty similar to a Zillow. Okay. And the Wall Street Journal was a sister company. The mother company was News Corp. 조금 포뮬리하지 않으실 수도 있는데요. 코스타는 커머셜 데이터베이스예요. 우리도 코스타 어카운트를 가지고 있고, 부동산 한다고 해서 회사들이, 작은 회사들은 코스타 멤버십도 없는 데가 굉장히 많고요. 아무튼 커머셜을 한다 그러면 코스타를 해야 제대로 하는 거라고 볼 수 있고요. 멤버십. 근데 굉장히 비싸요. 한 달에 막 360불씩 이렇게 되니까 보통 사람은 들지를 못하죠. 우리는 컴퍼니가 도와줘서 5 어카운트를 가지고 있는데, 아무튼 간에 그 뉴스코프라는 회사가 있는데, 뉴스코프가 뭘 가지고 있냐면 월스트리트 저널을 가지고 있고 리얼터닷컴을 가지고 있어요. 근데 뉴스코프라는 컴퍼니가 월스트리트 저널을 포함해서 좀 파이낸셜이 좀 힘들어서 리얼터닷컴을 팔으려고 그랬어요. 코스타에. 근데 코스타는 커머셜 전문이잖아요. 근데 리얼터닷컴을 많이 사들인다면 레지덴셜의 빅 컴퍼니가 되겠죠. 그래서 진로를 완전히 컴핏 다운 할 수 있다고 생각을 했는데 $3 빌리언 딜을 하다가 딜이 안 됐대요. 왜 그랬는지는 지금 어떤 메인 리즌은 모르겠어요. 그러나 그런 딜이 있었다 하는 뉴스가 들어와 있었고요. Okay, the last news is a local bank move on to home mortgage business. While the major banks are leaving home mortgage market, you probably heard Wells Fargo, they shut down home mortgage division, the business. And Chase, I'm not sure, but this Korea Times said Chase too. So while these major banks, they're closing the home mortgage business, local community banks move into home mortgage market. Well, they thought maybe it's chance because big guys, they don't do a home mortgage, then there are a lot of opportunities. And the local bank has a kind of advantage because local bank has a good relationship with the local clients, which means home buyers. So they have maybe more advantage. Right now, Bank of Hope, US Metro, and PCB Bank and Shinhan Bank, they are doing home mortgage lending. And as far as I know, a lot of Korean banks, they hope they can do home mortgage business, but they need the manpower, they need the skill, they need the knowledge because of very complicated process. Much different from commercial loans, which is the CRE. So most Korean banks, they do commercial loans, which is CRE, but not home mortgage. Okay, so depending on the strategy, maybe short term, right now, mortgage market is not so good, but long term, if Korean banks got into the home mortgage, it's going to be very lucrative market after all. 지금 그 큰 뱅크들이 메이저 웰스파고는 이미 뉴스에 확실히 발표가 났고요. 홈 모기지를 안 하겠다고. 그리고 체이스는 지금 잘 모르겠어요. 근데 하여튼 거기도 지금 홈 모기지 피하는 것 같고요. 그러다 보니까 로컬 작은 뱅크들이 이제 홈 모기지 쪽으로 움직이기 시작했다. US 메트로 같은 회사들은 그 모기지 아주 디비전을 지금 새로 만들었고, 그다음에 한국계는 뱅크 오브 홉, 한미, PCB, 신한은행들이 홈 모기지를 하고 있는데 그 이외에는 액티브하지 않고요. 대부분이 한국계는 CRE에 집중한다. 그쪽 티피컬한 커머셜 론, 빌딩 살 때 뭐 30% 다운하고 뭐 막 많이 다운하면 40%, 아주 적게 다운하면 25% 이렇게 다운하고 일반 커머셜 론 해주는 거는 익숙한데 홈 모기지는 못 건든다. 그러나 롱통으로 봐서 홈 모기지가 굉장히 루크레티브, 이익이 많이 남을 수도 있는 비즈니스다. 자, 그런 뉴스가 들어와서 저기 한번 드렸고요. Okay, so this is all this week. And I hope you are updated and you enjoyed the news brief from Land. So Thank you for joining and see you all next week.